Nigel Cecil, equity as you like it.
Especially for my equitable friends. Hello, Chakabatties. Nigel Cecil here once again, entertainment entrepreneur, and as Hilary keeps reminding me, a legend in my own lunchtime. But I do use my experience to respond to email questions and opinions sent in asking for my advice from my equitable friends. And following on from my last video, video number 47, which was about Ukraine and Equity UK and how creatives might be able to help in spreading the global media message about what we believe and we think about the terribly tragic situation in the Ukraine. Now, since that last video, we've already had some emails because some eagle-eyed viewers spotted this and said, "What's this all about?" You see, because it's in the Ukrainian colours, matching the flags we've got together on our little flagpole. Well, these are forget-me-nots. Forget-me-nots. And a lady at my church was making these, and we suddenly realised because she made them to give out to people so they are remembered, especially if they need special prayers to be remembered. And she sold these to raise money for the church funds. And we suddenly realised, well, they are blue and yellow. And certainly we don't want to forget Ukraine, do we? So what a way for the ladies to do the little crocheting and sell them to raise funds for the humanitarian causes helping Ukraine. So they are little forget-me-nots. I hope you like that idea. Anybody can start brochuring. Right, well, apart from that, we did mention that we were going to have a look at our Salford friends, Salford Media Online, because everybody, all the creatives are getting together to put forward messages to help get the truth about what's happening in Ukraine to the rest of the world. Because some countries have got restrictions and somebody already tried to troll my last video and say it was hacked so other people wouldn't watch it. They're all out there. They're all out there. Well, Salford Media Online went along to what was a small gathering, but an enthusiastic and heartfelt gathering in the pouring rain in the city of Salford. And there, the Mayor of Salford, Paul Dennert, introduced Rebecca Long-Bailey, the MP, the Labour MP for Salford and Eccles. And some might say, why are you mentioning Labour? Because this issue about Ukraine and the support of the United Kingdom rises far above party political considerations. So let's just join Salford Media Online as the Mayor of Salford, the City of Salford, introduces Rebecca Long-Bailey.
And we want you to know that the City Council and the people of Salford stand in solidarity with the Ukrainian people at this time. I'm going to hand over to Rebecca Long-Bailey, the MP for Salford and Eccles, who's also going to say a few words and address you all.
Thank you, Paul. I think he speaks for all of us in what he's just said. We were absolutely horrified to hear of the situation in Ukraine. So as a city, we send our solidarity to the people of Ukraine and anybody in our community that's worried or affected by this terrible situation at this time. Solidarity.
Those words were from Rebecca Long-Bailey, the Labour MP for the constituency of Salford and Eccles. Thank you, Rebecca. And then the ceremony was concluded by raising the national flags of the United Kingdom and the Ukraine together to show our united support for the people of the Ukraine. Now, the flag was raised on the flagpole by Tanya Birch, a City of Salford councillor whose ethnicity is Ukrainian. And she was joined by some friends from the Ukrainian Society in Cheetham Hill. Now, having said that, I'm going to show that part of the ceremony at the end of the video, because Tony Flynn from Salford Media Online managed to have a little chat with Tanya, and I learned some interesting things. So over to Tony with Tanya.
Yeah, I was born in Lviv, and all my family in Lviv. They refused to leave, but they knew the occupation was coming, so they were collecting food to support the refugees, and they're only an hour and a half from the border. They refused. Not one member of my family immigrated, guys or girls. They're supporting the refugees and Ukrainian army, can I say. Yeah.
What do you think? Have you got a message for the people of Salford, how they can help?
Of course, of course. First of all, thank you so much. From the time the war started until now, just a flood of text messages. It's non-ending. Prayers, messages, phone calls. How can we help? We've got a house. We've got houses for refugees. We can provide free English lessons. So thank you. This is true, my new home.
Yeah.
It's land of hope and glory for me personally, but just the support is overwhelming. And in the midst of this horror, the support and the love was tremendous. And if anyone wants to help, I'm just going to say it as it is. My family in Ukraine, they are going to Polish border, collecting walkie-talkie style of radios, and then sending them to Kyiv, to our boys and girls, risking their lives. So if anyone, at the sound of my voice, can help us with sending walkie-talkie kind of style radios, those used for mountaineering, yes, I am told they are they are worth. They're saving lives. So if you can support that, please get in touch with the Ukrainian community, with myself, or Plast, Ukrainians in Manchester, Ukrainian church. But we desperately need these radios. My nephew is working around the clock, bless him, packing them, ordering them. They don't have any in Ukraine. They don't have any in Poland, because thousands of them are needed. Now they're sourcing them from across Europe, Germany, mainly. But if you can help with that, that would be a tremendous help. And I know that people are bringing tons of supplies, toiletries, clothes, toys, which is fantastic. But these will save lives. Yeah, thanks.
Tanya, thanks ever so much for speaking to us.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Tanya Birch, a Salford City Councillor with Ukrainian ethnicity. So it was very interesting to hear what Tanya had to say about walkie-talkies being needed. Now, I couldn't help but notice, Tanya, that in your CV it says you're an actor. And I think, well, I'm an actor, and all we creatives can get together and spread the message. Just little postings on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok, on WhatsApp, you name it, we can do it. And by putting that out there, just landing on one person's desk who knows you personally will say, I know Tanya personally, so I know that is true. And that's what we can get through to everybody. And somebody dared to post that said, oh, well, the president of the Ukraine, he's an actor, in some disparaging way. And I thought, hang on a minute. You just look at the example some actors, entertainers who've gone into politics and risen to amazingly high places and done wonderful things. And the president of the Ukraine is currently an example to all of us. And of course, springing to my mind at my age, well, what about Ronald Reagan? Ronald Reagan, a celebrated actor, President of the United States of America, oversaw the longest peaceful period with Russia and Gorbachev. Now, you can't get any better than that, can you? But of course, with those ready to say, blah, blah to you and blah, blah to this, without realising we are fighting for democracy and the right of a nation to decide for themselves. And we cannot take, and the Baltic states do not take, democracy for granted. And that's why we join together the national flags of the United Kingdom and the Ukraine here in this ceremony at the City of Salford.